Okay, we're in exercise 69 and we're at problem 11 now. So it's always the same thing. Read the what they're saying about the numbers and then try to answer the question. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the whiteboard, and like I always do, and let me go to the whiteboard, my handwritten notes. And again, I don't remember what I read, to be honest with you, but I want to read it. All right, and this is number 11 again. So number 11, whoops, number 11. And I'll read it to you. It says, the square of the smaller of two numbers. So I'm going to say there's two numbers. I'll write this down where the numbers, X and Y. And again, I when I read things, I write things down, in a sense to communicate to you what's going on in my head, that there's two numbers, X and Y, and X is smaller than Y. It says the square of the smaller of these two numbers, right? That's the smaller of them, right? Added to twice their product. So I'm going to add this to twice their product gives 7 times the smaller number. All right, got that down. Right, next one says, and the square of the greater number, right, I'm just kind of reading, the square of the greater number exceeds the product of the numbers. It exceeds it by something, right? What does exceed it? By 6 times a smaller number. Now here's the issues I always have. I look at this thing and say, I wonder how I could solve that. And there's a variety of ways of doing it. And the way I'm going to do it over here is I'm just hoping for something easy to pop out at me. And what I'm doing is I realize there's an xy term and an x squared term and a y squared term. And I say the 7x and 6x really, if I could get rid of those guys, maybe I could get something that factors out. So I'm going to write this down a little differently. I'm going to write it down as 2xy plus x squared is equal to 7x. And I can write the other equation down as, y squared minus xy is equal to 6x. But my goal is to get rid of the x's in the problem, 7x and 6x. And the way I'm going to do that, I multiply the top equation by 6, and I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by minus 7. All right, let me go through that. I'm hoping it's going to be easy, but if it's a dead end, it's a dead end. I'll give it a shot. You get 12xy plus 6x squared equals 42x. All right, let's keep going. You get minus 7y squared plus 7x equals minus 42x. I'm going to add this stuff together. And I'm hoping for something nice. If it's not nice, I got to back up. 6x squared plus 19xy. And then what do you get? Minus 7y squared, right? Equals 0. And nice to me means does it factor using integer numbers? Let's take a look at this. Well, you know what? The 7y and y, if it does factor, it's got to be that. I'm kind of looking at that. And I'm going to say 3x. By the way, if it doesn't work, I'll try again. I always say if you can't get it to factor, keep trying. And I'd hate to get to go to some kind of formula or something or complete the square. Kind of crazy if I have to do that. Let's take a look. I'm going to say plus, minus. Let me see if that works. So you get 3x times 2x, 6x squared. That works beautifully. 21xy minus 2xy is 19xy. Yeah, it works beautifully. So what do I now know? I know 3x is equal to y. I'm using a zero product rule. And what else do I know? I know 2x equals minus 7y. Now, granted, I'm not saying this answers the question, but I'm wondering, what would I do now? Well, I got to go back to one of those equations and see if I can figure this thing out now by making a substitution. All right, so, the question is what equation would you go to? You know what? The y squared equals xy. Let me write that down. Y squared equals xy plus 6x. And I'm going to pop it in. And what would you get? well, if y is 3x, I'm popping this in here. If y is equal to 3x, I would get 9x squared. What would you give here? You'd get 3, let's see, if y is 3x, you get 3x squared plus 6x, right? Don't panic yet. And what do you get over here? You get 6x squared equals 6x. Certainly x could be 0 for this equation, right? And what else could x be? X could be 1. All right, so I got two numbers there, 0 and 1. Now, by the way, I'm not saying I've answered the question. I'm just saying I got some easy answer there. That's all I have, easy answers, all right? Now, I want to point out if x is equal to 0, I'll put the ordered pair down for you. And again, I'm not thinking about the problem anymore, but I'd get 0, 0. And if x is equal to 1, what would I get for y? I'd get 3. All right? Now, I want to do this one over here. I want to see what happens. And I'm not even thinking about the question. I'm just thinking about what I get over here. And I got to, maybe solve that for, I guess I could solve it for y, right? So what'd you get over here? You'd get minus 2/7 of an x equals a y. And I'm still going to plug it in, by the way. So it's y squared equals xy plus 6x. I'm still using that, all right? So what's y squared? It would be 4x squared over 49. That's what y squared is. What do you get over here? You would get minus, let's see, you would get minus 2/7 of an x squared plus 6x. Well, again, x could be 0. I mean, just by looking at it, I've got to kind of clear the fraction out because it kind of disturbs me. So I get 4x squared, and then I multiply by 49, so you get minus 14x. And over here, I'm sorry, 14x squared. Sorry about that. What are you going to get? Well, you're going to get 49 times 6x. Don't panic yet. So what do you get over here? You can get 19x squared. I'm adding 14x squared to both sides. I'm sorry, 18. My apologies. Equals 49 times 6x. Again, I already said x is 0 solution, so I'm going to just simply say, okay, x is not 0. I already got that solution. So I'm going to divide through by x. I'm going to get 18x equals 49 times 6. All right, I think I got x now. And what do you get over there? X will be equal to 49 times 6 over 18. I'm glad I didn't multiply that out by because it's easy to reduce it. 49 and 6 go to 18 3 times. So let's write the other solution down I get. And again, I haven't even go back to the word problem. Maybe this doesn't make any sense at all. But x is going to be 49 thirds. And what's the y going to be? Let me write this down for you. It's minus 2/7 times the x, and the x is 49 thirds. So what's it going to be? Minus 14 thirds. Now, by the way, I want to go back and, kind of read it. And it says, I'm saying, and again, I got to identify x as a smaller number, right? Yeah, so this, I don't think is a good idea. All right? So what I mean by that, this one over here, because they're both the same size. So I wouldn't call one smaller than the other. So I'm going to cross that one off. Does this one make sense? Yeah, because 1 is smaller than 3. Does this one make sense over here, 49 thirds? No, because 49 thirds is bigger than minus 14 thirds. So there's only one answer. So the question is, what's the small number? The small number is 1. What's the large number? The large number is 3. All right? So again, a lot of times when you're doing a word problem, go back and read it again and see what your answers are like. All right? We got two answers that weren't good. We only got one answer that worked out for that. All right? Now, granted, if you look back over my notes, this is problem number 11. What do? Look back over the notes and you'll see that I identify the answer not only in the paper, in the solutions guide, but also in graphical form. All right? Thank you so much for paying attention. I do appreciate it.